So this is what we are going to study today. And this is the final part of the chapter. Final part of the chapter. And definitely one long question comes in the board exam from this part of the chapter. What is it? We will understand, we will study how we can use simultaneous linear equations in two variables to solve. To solve what? To solve the given problem. Using simultaneous linear equations in two variables to solve a given problem. And the problem will be a word problem. It will not be looking very mathematical. It will be looking like a puzzle. And from next class onwards, we will try to not use the word problem because problem is a negative word. We will say puzzle, a paheli, which will indicate a adventure. And today, in today's session, the main example that we will take up to study this process in detail is this example. The question is on your screen. Okay. Remember, I have asked you to pay attention to the contents on the slide, pay attention to what I'm saying, and if you think there is something that you can recognize that you have already studied, please feel free to send the message in the chat box. So this question will be repeating throughout the session today, at least half of the session today. You don't need to write it down in the notebook now. I have ensured that it is there in the all the slides wherever necessary. So let us get ready. Some more people have joined us. Good to see them. So what is different? What is different? We have already studied all the methods of solving linear equations in two variables, simultaneous linear equations in two variables. We have solved the questions that were there, that are there in practice set 1.1, 2, 3, and 4. Then how is this question different? Think and answer. You can type your answer or you can raise your hand. I'll allow you to speak. We have solved a lot of questions in practice set 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4. Now you are seeing this type of question. How is it different? Make a guess. I'm sure you will get it. Khadija, you have jumped a step. Go back and just tell me what is the difference. Khadija has given me the solution. What is the difference in this question? Prachi, yes, your observation is correct. But once again, what you are saying is uh, more focused on what we need to do. My question is, how is this different? Thank you, Khadija. Now Khadija is saying that the equation is given as a word puzzle. Or we can also say the equation is not given. Not just the equation, the equations, linear equations in two variables. In order for us to be able to solve them, we need to have at least two of them. And none of the equations are given in the question. That is the difference. Need confirmations that this is clear? Very basic, very basic. Equations are not given. And that is why, and now Khadija and Prachi, I acknowledge your answers. Because the equations are not given, first we will have to form the equations. In the questions that we solved earlier this year in this chapter in practice set 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4, the equations were given. So we did not have to make the equations. They were there. Now the equations are. So this is the only new step. Because of this difference, our solution will have two main steps. One step we already know, but the additional step will be about forming the simultaneous linear equations in two variables. That is what is new. That is what is different. That is what is additional before we use any of the method. So you see, once we have formed the equations, we can use any of our methods to solve them. Right? Are these main steps clear? Need 5 confirmations? You can confirm using thumbs up. You can confirm using a chat message. Thank you very much. So today's session, we will focus on forming the equations, because I'm assuming, and it's a correct assumption, that we have already studied the solving of those equations. So today's lesson's focus will be mainly about forming the equations. And yes, we will solve also, but the main focus will be on forming the equations. You will have to do a lot of solving and writing on your own. You will have a lot of time to do it on your own, but I need your participation to take this forward. Yeah. So the first step is forming the equations. How do we form the equations? This also we studied last year. If we try to summarize what we have already studied, or the main points that we need for this year, is that question that is given in a paragraph form in English, it will have some nouns and some verbs. And from there, we have to form equations which will have some variables and operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Now, the trick is, we need to identify those variables and we need to identify what mathematical operations to carry out. And that can be easily done if we remember, if we understand that variables are usually nouns. Nouns turn into variables. And which nouns? The nouns that refer to quantities. Whereas the verbs, which are actions, they refer to mathematical operations. And we know there are only 4 basic mathematical operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. I have tried to give you some very, very basic verbs that we may see in the question, that will help us understand whether it refers to addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Chand, can you read the words that are there for addition?
Sum, total, more, receive, add, etc.
Thank you, Chand. So when we see these words, it is referring to addition. Then can I ask Fiza to read the words that are associated with subtraction?
Subtraction, less, remove, give, subtract, etc.
Thank you. So I hope all of you understand, etc. means things like this. There are many more, not just this. These are just examples. Thank you, Fiza. Can I now ask if Muskan and Sania, you are awake and you can speak. What are the words that are associated with multiplication?
Times, double, twice, thrice, and times, etc.
Thank you, Beta. And finally, Sandhya, can I ask you to read out the words that are usually associated with division?
Yeah, half, third, fourth, divide, distribute, and etc.
Correct. So make a note of these words. I'm not asking you to write down immediately. Make a mental note and try to complete that list. This list, try to add to this list as and when you encounter, you meet, you get, you see, you read more words which refers to mathematical operations in the questions. Keep this in mind so that our vocabulary increases and our understanding of the question also increases. Prachi, can you tell me what I asked you to do? Prachi, can you come out of mute and confirm what I have asked you to do? Okay, can't speak. Karthik, can you speak? Karthik, are you speaking? Okay. Shubham Yadav, can you speak? I have asked class to do something about this list of words. What did I ask? Strange, no response. Tushar, can you tell me?
What, sir?
What have I asked the class to do about this list of words?
Write in books.
Okay. Clearly, you did not understand, or you. Thank you, Karthik. Karthik has given a response in the chat box. I asked you to, yes, make a note of this and keep adding to this list as we find more words in the question. This is what I asked. So all these people who did not respond to the question, can you please confirm that you have understood now? Tushar, Shubham, Prachi.
Yes, sir, understood.
Thank you. Alfia, there is no criticism here. We just need to put them, make a mental note and keep adding to this list. If you make a physical note, excellent. No, I did not say to criticize the words. You can't criticize the words. Okay. Okay. So with this, let us get into more and more detail. We know what we are going to do. We will form the equations and then we will solve them. Let us try. How much you remember? Let us see how much you remember about from what we studied last year and what you already know. Right? I'm going to do one question for you. You will just listen to that, see what I'm doing, and you will write the other three answers in the notebook before you write in the chat box. Don't type in the chat box directly. It is not helping you. Start writing in the notebook. It's a very simple activity directly from your textbook, and it helps us forming the equations from given sentences. It says in the middle, I am a rectangle. My length is x units and my breadth is y units. Now, if I take the sentence which is on the top, it says sum of my length and breadth is 36. Sum means addition. X and y are the lengths and breadth. So I can write the equation will be x plus y equals to 36. As simple as that. Now you have 5 minutes to read the question, on your own, write the three answers, the remaining three answers in your notebook. And once you have done that in your notebook, you can type it in the chat. Time has started. Okay, time is up. Come back, come back, come back. Look at the screen. Chance, two of your answers are correct. You have given two answers, both are correct. Third answer is also correct, I think. Okay. Look at the screen. There is no particular order of solving this. Huh? You could have answered it in any order. Now, if you look at the sentence, which is at the bottom of that main sentence at the center, it says the difference. Difference means subtraction. This is the mental note I was referring to. We need to remember this. Right? The difference between my length and breadth. Now we know length is x, breadth is y. So we can say x minus y equals to 6. X minus y equals to 6. Need confirmation if this is clear? Thank you. Now, if you look at the one that is on the left, it says, if the breadth is subtracted from twice the length. So clearly, the operation is subtraction. What is subtraction from what? Breadth is subtracted means something minus y. It is subtracted from twice the length. Twice means two times. Two times means 2 into L or 2 into x, where here length is equal to x. The answer is 27. Please confirm. Very easy. And the last one, which is on the right hand side of the main question, is my breadth is 5 by 7 times means multiplication of the length. Breadth is y, length is x. So my breadth y is equal to 5 by 7 times multiplied by x. Done. Very, 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 very simple. So all we have done here is find out what the quantity is. They are the variables. Find out what the verb is. Sometimes it is sum, sometimes it is time, sometimes it is subtracted, added, difference, times, and we know whether we are adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, and what. This is how we do it. And this question, my dear students, is from class 9 activity, from your textbook, class 9. We will now look at the activity in your textbook, in class 10 textbook. You will do it on your own in your notebook, and then you will give the answer in the chat box. You will have 4 minutes to do it, starting, not 4, 3 minutes to do it, because there are only 3 questions starting now. Once again, there is no particular order of writing this. I'm just taking whichever, I'm just starting with ones that I find it easy. You may find something else easier, right? Now it says there are 2 people, Sarthak and Sakshi, and some quantity is given. The quantity is their ages. So the variables are X and Y. The quantity is age. Sarthak's age is X and Sakshi's age is Y. If you look at the question, the statement that is there on the right hand side, it says the sum. Sum means addition of present ages of Sarthak. Sarthak is X, Sakshi is Y. So the equation will be X plus Y equals to 25. Need confirmations? Thank you very much. This was the easiest. For me, this was the easiest. Now, if you look at the statement which is at the top, it says Sarthak's age, remember what is Sarthak's age? X is money equal to less by 8. It is less by 8. From what? Than double the age of Sakshi. Now Sakshi's age is Y, double multiplication. So we can write Sarthak's age X equals to double the age of Sakshi minus 8. Now, if we can simplify it and write it in the usual form, we can do that. But the main equation, the initial equation that we get by reading the statement is this: X equals to 2Y minus 8. Please confirm. Thank you very much. Now, the third statement, which is on the left-hand side, this is a little trickier. It's not difficult. It is a little trickier because now, although the quantity is still ages, now it is asking about 4 years ago. 4 years ago, Sarthak age must be X minus 4. Common sense. If today I am 40 years old, then 4 years ago I was 36 years old. Tabhi to 36 plus 4 equals to 40. 40 minus 4 equals to 36. Similarly, Sakshi 4 years ago was Y minus 4 years old. If we know this, then we can form the equation. It says Sakshi's age was, Sakshi says, kitna Sakshi says? Y minus 4 was 3 years less than Sarthak's age at that time. Sarthak's age X minus 4, 3 years less. Once again, you can simplify this equation and write it in the usual form. Yes, that is fine. But at this point in time, our focus is to just translate a given sentence that is in English into mathematical equation. So this is the basic equations that we get. Please confirm. I'm checking the chat also. Y minus 4, X minus 4, 3 years less. Okay. Good. This is what we will have to do. This is the new thing. This is the different thing when we look at word problems, and that is why word problems carry more marks, and that is why people find it difficult. People find it difficult to solve because you cannot just remember the method and solve it. You need to form the equations in the first place. Equations will not be given, and that is why we will focus on this part. If we are ready, then we will look at how to solve this type of question in detail. Tushar, Ritik, please try to keep on mute. Thank you very much. Is there anything that you saw on the screen today that you heard me say which reminded you of what we have studied already? I have told you that the first activity was from grade 9. Is there anything else? Let us see. There is more. I hope you are able to identify. So we will look at the detailed example, and remember the question you already know, and it will come to your screen. Now do you remember? Something comes to your mind? We have studied last year itself. If you are not able to identify, then my sincere, very strong suggestion is you need to look at your class 9 textbook once again. Class 9 textbook once again, because this flow chart, which is on the left hand side, the steps to solve are directly from your class 9 textbook. Yes, Prachi. And that is why this year it's not given in the textbook. We have already understood this. What are the steps? Quickly read the given problem and carefully and try to understand it. Common sense. Second step, from given information, use proper variables for given quantities. That is what I said. Variables, quantities. So here we will define our X, our Y, or our L, our B, or our P and our Q. Whichever variable we want to choose, we can choose. Just remember, variables have to be lowercase letters, not uppercase. Third, from the mathematical statement, form the mathematical statements from above variables. Yes, now using the verbs, you combine the variables to form the equations. That is what we did now in the last two activities. Once we have done it, we have to solve them using any method that we want to. When we solve them, we will get the solution. Get the solution means if our variables are X and Y, in the solution we will get what is X, how much is X, and how much is Y. A step that we should do, not required in the fair but required in the rough, is check, verify. And finally, when we are sure, when we are confident that our answer is correct, we will write the answer in English. That means in this step, we will move from variables to quantities. So if X and Y were ages, here we will write age of Sarthak is, age of Sakshi is. This is how we'll write. And I also remind you, the question that we are looking at, that is also from your class 9 textbook, which is explained in detail and we also studied in detail. Are we ready to look at it once again? Need confirmations before we move. Okay, good, thank you. So we will solve this question once again using these steps. First step, I've made it extremely easy for you. The question is there on the screen. The step is also there in the screen. Tell me, what do I do? What are the quantities? What should be the variables? Is it clear? Can someone come out of mute and explain? Aarti, can you tell me what this question means? You don't need to read the question. Can you tell me what this question means? Aarti Bania? Why are you people so shy, or are you sleeping? Anushka, can you tell me what does the question mean? Simple English, you can explain, Anushka. Tushar, yes, go ahead, speak.
The sum of two numbers is equal to 36.
And
If 9 is subtracted 8 times from the first number, we get the second number.
okay, and we have to find
The numbers.
We have to find the numbers. Good. Yep. Thank you, Tushar. Thank you for helping. Right. So if we try to understand with an example, suppose there are two numbers, 3 and 6. What it says is sum of two numbers. So 3 plus 6 is equal to 9. Yes, it is. I just took random examples and it happened. And then it says, if 9 is subtracted from 8 times the first number, this is the first number, this is the second number. So 8 times means 8 into 3. 9 is subtracted from that. So this, and it should be second number, 6. We have to find such number, two numbers, such that when we add them, the sum is 9. And when we subtract 9 from 8 times the first number, we get 6. We have understood. Very simple English. Next step. What are the quantities? Simple answer. First tell me, what is the quantity? What are the quantities that we are dealing with? Thank you very much. The quantity is numbers. Right? Quantity is numbers. And we can easily find it when we see what is the question. It says find the numbers. This is the quantity that we need to find. Numbers. Thank you, Chanda. Thank you, Prachi. Now tell me what variables you want to use. Up to you. Normally they use x and y. Okay, Prachi is saying x and y. Let us see. We will use x and y. Now is it enough to say x and y, or something more needs to be said? We will have to say that, say, x is the first number and y is the second number. Otherwise, we will be in trouble. X is the first number and y is the second number. Keep taking notes, because when we move to the next slide, this will be gone. X is the first number. Let x is the first number and y be the second number. Can we move to the next step?
Yes.
Okay. Now we will try to form the equation, and we have the variables x and y. We just chose them, x and y. X is the first number, y is the second number. Now find out the verbs. I will help you with one. It is sum. Now you tell me what the equation should be.
X plus y is equal to 36.
Very good. Thank you, Tushar. Thank you, Tushar. We will call it equation number 1. Now give me the second equation.
6.
Give me the second equation. Thank you, Prachi. 8 times the first number, 8x, minus 9 equals to the second number, y. This is the second equation. But we will try to write it in the usual form so that we are able to solve them properly. So we will take this minus 9 to the right hand side. We will bring this y to the left hand side. All the variable terms are on the left hand side, should be on the left hand side. All the constant terms should be on the right hand side. So our equation will become 8x minus y equals to Prachi has already said
9.
Correct. Thank you, Aman. We have the two equations. X plus y equals to 36 and 8x minus y equals to 9. You have to write it in your notebook. I'm not writing it in my notebook, and whatever I'm writing it on the screen is only temporary. The moment I change the slide, they'll be gone. Can we move?
Yes.
Okay. So now we have to choose a method. The equations are x plus y equals to 36 and 8x minus y equals to 9. Tell me which method do you want to use, and also tell me why. Waiting for your answers. Your choice, completely your choice. There is no restriction. Chand is saying
Elimination.
Thank you, Tushar. Chand, we can solve it by determinant method, but Tushar's idea is better. If we use elimination method, it will be easier, because you see the coefficients of y and minus y are same now, 1, 1. So if we use the elimination method and we just add the two equations, x plus 8x equals to 9x, y minus y is 0, 36 plus 9 is 45. When we simplify this, x equals to 45 by 9, which is equal to 5. Thank you.
5.
You have given us the easy answer. Now in the next step, we will use this value of x to find the value of y. So from equation 1, we can say 5 plus y equals to 36. That means y equals to 36 minus 5 equals to, is it correct? Yes,
31.
31. 31. Right? So we have solved. The method that we used was elimination method. I hope you are doing it. So we have the value for x and we have the value for y. Are we ready to go to the next step? Very good, Alfia, Chand. What is the next step? The next step is find the solution. We have already found the solution. Na kya hai hamara solution? When we write it in mathematical form, we can say x equals to 5 and y equals to 31. This is the solution. If you remember, the next step is to verify. Let us verify. The equations are x plus y equals to 36. Now we got x equals to 5, y equals to 31, and when we add them, we get 36. First equation is correct. The second equation is 2x minus y equals to 9. Now let us see if this is right or wrong. Now 2 into 5 minus y is 31. Y is 31. What are we getting? 10 minus 31 equals to minus 21. Why are we not getting 9? That means our answer is wrong. What did I do wrong? Khadija? Yes, beta. What you have told me is correct. Let us see if others are able to figure out. What have I done wrong? Why am I getting wrong answer here? Why am I not able to verify? Okay, Chanda, please say. Speak.
The second equation was maybe wrong.
Yes, correct. The second equation should have been 8x minus y equals to 9.
Correct.
Correct. Now we can say 8 into 5 minus 31. Let us see what happens. 8 into 5 is 40 minus 31 equals to 9. So the second equation is also proving to be correct. Now we are sure that our solution is correct. Confirm that you understood how verification is done. And I remind you, you will do this verification in fair only if the question asks you to do. If the question has not asked you to verify, you can do this in the rough. Okay. Now, once we are sure that our answer is correct, we can write the answer, present the answer in the right form. That is the last step. We will say the two numbers are first number is 5, second number is 31. Done. Need 15 confirmations that all of you have understood this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. You would remember that we also studied last year that these will be the different types of question with regards to word problems of linear equations in two variables. Problems regarding ages, you saw Sakshi and Sarthak. Problems regarding numbers, the example that we solved just now. Problems based on fractions, we will see, we have already done last year, numerator and denominator. Problems based on money transaction, cost price, selling price, profit, those things. Problems based on geometrical properties, we looked at one example, rectangle, length, breadth. Problems related to speed, distance, and time. So to be able to answer these questions, you need to know a little bit more than just mathematics. For example, if I ask you, if selling price is SP and cost price is CP, what will be profit? How much will be profit? If selling price is SP and cost price is CP, what will be profit, mathematically speaking?
Selling price, cost price minus selling price.
Selling price minus cost price, beta. Ulta ho gaya. It will be selling price minus cost price. That will be our profit. And if this comes to negative, then that means it is loss. Thank you, Chanda. Thank you, Prachi, for answering in the chat. You need to know this basic thing. Another basic thing that we all have to understand, and this is from science. Tell me, how do we calculate speed from distance and time? What is the relationship? What can I write? Speed equals to, correct, Karthik?
Distance upon time.
Thank you very much. Distance upon time. Distance upon time. One more question just to confirm that you have understood, you remember. Suppose I have a fraction which looks like this. Can you tell me what is the numerator and what is the denominator here? The fraction is d by n. What is the numerator? What is the denominator? Correct. Denominator is n, numerator is d. The question I gave you on the screen, intentionally I have named it like that. For you to be careful. Denominator is n, small n, and numerator is small d. If we know these basic things, then we will be able to answer the questions easily. How confident do we feel now on a scale from, say, 0 to 5? Waiting for your answers in the chat. 0 is absolutely not confident. 5 is fully confident. Where are we? Thank you, Chan. Thank you, Aman. Thank you, Aarti, Chanda, Aditya, Karthik. Waiting for more responses. Tushar, Shubham, Shaheen, Satyam, Sameer, Saif, waiting for your responses. Sahil, Ritika, Muskan Sheikh, waiting for your responses. Lakshmi, Anushka, not a thumbs up. I've asked you to give me a number from 0 to 5. How confident you are feeling now about this? Ankit, we are studying this for the second time. Remember, there in your textbook this year. Okay? And remember, the session's focus is we are trying to figure out the equations from the given problem. Solution, I trust you that you already know how to solve it using whichever method you want to. Okay? First example is this. I want Aarti to read the question. Aarti Banya. Aarti Banya, if you are awake, please read the question.
The perimeter of a rectangle is 40 centimeter. The length of the rectangle is more than double its breadth by 2. Find the length and breadth.
Thank you, Aarti. Thank you very much. Now, because this is the first example, I'm going to explain it to you and then you will form the equations. We will do this together. We will do this together and we will try to, we know the steps. Now we are not going to do this on slide by slide. The first step, if you remember, is to understand, read and understand. Aarti has already read it for us. Now, if you try to understand,
Good
the
morning, sir.
question is talking about a rectangle and its perimeter. So this understanding can be much faster if we draw a rough diagram of a rectangle. We can name it A, B, C, and D. Of course, the longer sides are lengths and the shorter sides are breadths. So here the lengths are AD and BC sides, and the breadths are AB and CD sides. Now it says the perimeter. Perimeter means sum of all the four sides. Geometry, told you. So if you translate this first sentence into a mathematical statement, I'm still not using variables. We can say AB plus BC plus CD plus DA equals to 40. So we need to know what perimeter means. Now, question for you. What can we say about AD and BC? What sign can I put there? Fill in the blanks. You can come out of mute or you can type. Thank you, Khadija. The correct answer is equal to. Because we know rectangle is a quadrilateral, which is a parallelogram. Also, all its angles are of 90 degrees. Opposite sides of rectangles are equal, right? So AD equals to BC. Similarly, if I ask you AB and CD, what is the relationship? Once again, it will be equal to because opposite sides of a rectangle are of same length. Now it says length of the rectangle is more than double its breadth. Now see what words are there. Huh? So length is one quantity, breadth is another quantity. There is a word more, there is another word double. These are the words that will help us form the equation. Now, if I form the equation for this particular rectangle, I can pick up one of the lengths. So I can say AD more than double is, so is equal to more than double. Double of the breadth means 2 into AB, more addition by 2. This is the equation. This is how I understand. Now you help me trying to convert this explanation into variables and equations. You tell me what variables will you choose and for what. It will be good if one of you can come out of mute and speak. It is perfectly fine if you type it in the chat box. Question is, what variables for what quantities?
We should say
Tushar, lost your voice. Can you speak again? I'm seeing Karthik, Khadija, Prachi, Alfia responding. Even Chand has responded. Most of you have.
LNB.
Okay. Tushar is saying LNB. I like this answer. I think he remembers certain things that I have taught last year. And one thing I said, instead of taking X and Y for everything, it always helps to use variables, to select variables that are relevant to the quantities. The quantities here are length and breadth. So for length, we can say L, and for breadth, we can say B. L and B. If you are taking M and N, Chand, absolutely not a problem. Karthik, if you are taking X and Y, absolutely not a problem. Alfia, I don't know what you meant, but you cannot say AB. AB means A into B. That's the wrong way to write the answer. If you are saying you want to take A and B, yes, you can. Just remember, don't take a capital letter. Always take a lowercase, small letter, L and B. Now try to convert this equation using L and D and this equation using L and D. First write it in your notebook and then type it in the chat box. Waiting for your answers. Be quick. Prachi, check your answer again. And let me try to understand why you could not answer this question. Because it is easy. It's easy. Now, when I said this is our understanding taking a specific rectangle. This is our understanding of the question taking a specific rectangle, right? Now, if we generalize it using variables, we know that AB is becoming B because we said breadth is B, CD is B. Similarly, BC is L and AD is L. Now we know these things now. B, L, B, L. Now you can use simple algebra to say B plus L plus B plus L equals to 40. This much all of you can do. Need confirmations? Still waiting for more confirmations? Thank you. Now, if this is what we get, if we simplify this, why can we simplify? Because see, L is repeated, B is repeated. 1 chocolate, 2 chocolates. So 2L plus 2B equals to 40. Can we simplify this even further? Yes, we can. We can, because all these three terms are divisible by 2. So when we divide these terms, all these terms by 2, 2 by 2 is 1. So L, 2 by 2 is 1. So B, and 40 divided by 2 is 20. This is our first equation. Any confirmations? Karthik, see what you did wrong. Chanda, see what you did wrong. Equation 1 becomes L plus B equals to 20. Make a note. It will vanish from the screen soon. Similarly, if you look at the second statement, we have AD plus 2AB equals to 2. Just write the variables in the right place. Now, AD is L, AB is B. So this converts into L equals to 2B plus 2. Now we want to write the equations in a general form, the usual form, where all the variable terms should be on the left-hand side. When we do this transformation, this becomes L minus 2B equals to 2. I'm very surprised that most of you got the second equation correct, which was difficult, and most of you got the first equation wrong, which was easier. Please confirm that this is clear now. You need to tell me that you are awake. You need to tell me that you are understanding. Good. Tushar, can you now tell me what method should we use to solve these equations? One equation is L plus B equals to 20 and the other equation is L minus 2B equals to 2. What method should we use? And there is a reason I'm asking you. Others can answer. Karthik, very good. You have learned from your mistake. Yes, Tushar?
elimination method.
Thank you, Tushar. Yes. Alfia, we can use substitution method. And class, we can use any method that we want. We can use substitution, we can use elimination, we can use determinant method, we can use graphical method, we can use any of the method. But look at the coefficients. L has the same coefficient in both the equations. And when this happens, remember, the best method, the easiest method, most convenient method will be elimination method. I'm not going to solve this for you in the class now. You complete it on your own and you will tell me by evening if you are able to do it or not. Tell me when we are ready to move to the next question. In the textbook, this question is solved using determinant method. My suggestion is you solve it by elimination method. It becomes easier. If you want to use determinant method, please go ahead and use. Not a problem. Need confirmations that we can.
देखो इसने ऐसा करके दी थी क्या ऐसा आईफोन जैसा तो भाभी मुझे
Waiting for more confirmations. Good. 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 Moving to the next question, which has pictures as well as some diagrams and some text. Again, an example from your textbook. Who will read? Karthik, are you able to read?
Yes.
Yes. Instead of reading, can you please explain to us what is happening here? Okay, first read and then explain.
I have some analog wristwatches and some digital wristwatches. I am going to sell them at a discount.
So who is I?
The seller?
Yes, seller, the shopkeeper. So shopkeeper who has some watches. Tell me, what are the different types of watches is he having?
Analog watches and digital watches.
Analog and digital watches. Very good. Now read the next part.
Sale of first day.
Hmm.
Analog watch 11 is equals to 11 or digital watch 6. Received amount 4,330 rupees.
Second one.
Sale of the second day. Analog watch 22, digital watch 5. Received amount 7,330 rupees.
Okay. Now I have drawn some waves under certain words. If you see, I have drawn waves under discount and sale. Can you connect these words and tell me what is happening? Is it a normal selling process or something special is happening? If anyone else knows the answer, you can type it in the chat box or you can raise your hand if you want to speak. What is special about this selling? And I want you to explain this without using the word sale and discount. Huh? How else can you explain? What is the meaning of sale? What happens during a sale? What happens during a what is meant by a discount? These are words from class 6 and 7. Selling price, cost price.
Removing items.
Okay, not removing items, but yes, in a way correct. To get to before the shop gets new things to sell, they want to get rid of the existing things. So as Prachi has said correctly in the chat box, sale is when we sell something at a lesser amount, lesser than usual amount. The price is less, so that more and more people are able to come and sell. Good, thank you. You have understood. Now, again, concentrate on the last line of the question, which is at the bottom, and tell me what quantity are we focusing on? The answer is in the last line.
Types of watch.
Nope. It's not the type of watch. There is only one other quantity there.
Price for watches.
Yes. The price is the quantity that we are concerned about. And of course, the total amount of money that we receive will also depend on the number of watches. Yes, that is correct. But the main quantity that we are dealing with is the price. Okay. Now, once we have understood that we are dealing with the price here, Then can you tell me what quantities will be our variables? We need variables for which quantities? We are dealing with linear equations in two variables. That clearly tells us that we will need two variables. So what are those quantities that we need variables for? Karthik is saying wrist W analog A. Okay, but what do you mean, Karthik, by W and A? Is it the number of watches? Prachi, yes. If I combine your answer with Karthik's answer, Chanda is saying C. Or Prachi is saying types of watches. Okay. Okay. Khadija is saying analog watches and wrist watches. Yes. But how do we use the price then? If price is something that we need, then why are you all saying analog watches and wrist watches? Why do we need variable for that? We already know there are 11 and 22 analog watches. We already know that there are 6 and 5 digital watches. Then why do we need variables for that? We don't. We need variable for something else. Push, push, push.
Amount.
Be more specific, Prachi. Selling price of what? Thank you, Prachi. Finally, we have to take variables for selling price of analog watches and selling price of digital watches. This is the complete correct answer. If we just say price, we don't know of what. If we just say watch, we don't know whether we are referring to number or the price. So we have to combine. We have to say selling price of analog watch and selling price of digital watch. Need 5 confirmations that you understood the complication here. Yes, Khadija. Now the answer is correct. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now, because analog starts with A and digital starts with D, let us go with what Karthik and Prachi were saying, that the variables will be A and D. Let the selling price of analog watch be A and the selling price of digital watch be D. Now tell me, if on day 1, the shopkeeper sold 11 analog watches, so how much money did he earn? We know the selling price, we know the number of watches. Tell me how much money did he earn? Maybe it will be easy for you if you think you want to buy 1 watch or you want to buy 11 watches. How much money will it cost? 1 chocolate is 10 rupees. 5 chocolate is how much? Prachi, correct answer. Waiting for others. Please don't tell me कि तुम कभी दुकान नहीं जाते, सामान नहीं खरीदते. Chanda, how can it be 1 rupee? Very good answer, Akhilesh Rajesh. That is exactly what I was looking for. That is exactly what I was looking for. The question is, if the price of analog watch is A and on day 1, the shopkeeper has sold 11 watches, then how much money has he earned or she earned? 11 into A equals to 11A. नहीं होगा ऐसा? If the cost of 1 chocolate is 5 rupees and if you are buying 10 chocolates, then the amount you will have to pay is multiply. Similarly, tell me the other values. The next value I want you to tell me is this one. Here, how much will it be? Digital watch, sale 1, day 1 of sale. Correct. Analog watch, day 2. Correct. Digital watches, day 2. Very good. Now you have understood. Now, how do we form the equation? Equations are right in front of us. And some of you have already given me the equations. The equations are 11a plus 6b equals to 4330. The second equation, which is for day 2, will be 22a plus 5d equals to 7330. The amount we calculated, we used the selling price as the variable, selling price of each type of watch. We multiplied it with the quantity of the watches sold to arrive at the amount earned by selling each type of watch. We added the sales of each day to find the total amount received on each day. Yes, you have given me the equations in the chat box. You have understood. Any questions here? This is how we form equations when the question is about selling price, cost price, business transactions, monetary transactions. We will need to know what is selling price, what is cost price, how do we calculate profit and loss. If you don't have any question, you need to give me a confirmation. You also need to give me a confirmation that you are awake. Waiting for your confirmations. 4, 5, 6, 7. Still waiting for more. There are more than 35 students in the class. And I find this question the most interesting this year. Look at the picture. Tell me what is happening. Who wants to speak? Who wants to give a speech about what is happening in the picture? Alfia, can you please come out of mute and say, oh, okay, Chanda wants to speak. Good. Chanda, speak.
So in this picture, there are two boats and there are two persons. They both are moving their boats in opposite directions.
Very good. Thank you very much. That is good to start the conversation. Now, Chanda and the whole class, remember, whenever we say boats, we will not use the word moving. We will use a different verb. You see, we are not dragging this boat on the land, or we are not dragging these boats in the water. We are doing something specific. So we will say, thank you, Prachi. The correct verb is rowing. And Chanda very correctly observed that they are rowing in opposite direction. Right? So some of you can explain this, that say person A is rowing from left to right and person B is moving from rowing from right to left. Now this question involves a peculiar property and a universal property of this water body. Now look at the picture and tell me what kind of water body it is. Is it still water or flowing water? You can type or you can speak. This is a very simple question. Is the water still or is the water flowing? Correct. Water is flowing. Now you tell me, just look at the picture, and now you will understand the picture even better, right? It's not left, right, right, left. There is something else is happening. Tell me who is moving faster, who is rowing faster, who will be rowing faster, who will be moving at a much faster speed. Make a guess. Person B looks like person B is moving faster, and the simple reason is, if you see, the river is slanting. River is sloping towards the left hand side. Now this slope, this direction of the slope is called downstream. Stream is the flowing water down the flow, downstream. Similarly, the direction of A, we call it upstream. Here, person A is moving against, rowing against the flow of water, and that is why her speed will be slower. If we understand this much, then we can understand the remaining question. You need to confirm that you understand upstream and downstream. You also confirm that the direction of the flow, whether we take a stream or a river or any flowing body, the direction does not change, because you have already studied in geography and you will study more this year when you study drainage, that the water always flows from a higher altitude to a lower altitude. And the reason we have studied in science, which is gravity. So clearly, the speed of B is more than the speed of A. So this question is about speed, distance, and time. And remember, we already said speed equals to distance by time. I will read the question for you. The first part says, a boat travels 16 kilometers distance upstream. So we are talking about person A. And 24 kilometers downstream. Oh, it's the same person. So person A first went upstream 16 kilometers and then came downstream 24 kilometers. And the time taken was 6 hours. And here the question will be correct when we say when the same person in the same boat travels 36 kilometers upstream and 48 kilometers downstream, that person takes 13 hours. Of course, 36 is more than 16, 48 is more than 24. So it will take much longer than just 6 hours. Is the explanation clear? The boat and the person remaining same. If the rowing is 16 kilometers upstream and 24 kilometers downstream, the time taken is 6 hours. So clearly, this will give us our equation 1. And if we go 36 kilometers upstream and 48 kilometers downstream, it will take 13 hours. So this will give us equation 2. And we have to find speed of water current, and speed of the boat. Speed of the water current and speed of the boat. Now this has become much easier. You can just look at the last line of the question and you can tell me what variables we need to use. It's very clearly mentioned in the last sentence. Try. And Prachi and the entire class, I'm not asking for the variables. I mean, don't give me x and y. Tell me what is x and y. Chand is saying speed. Be more specific. Give me 2 variables. Define them clearly. All of you have said you have understood. Karthik, correct. Prachi, correct. Chand, correct. The 2 variables are speed of water current. Number 1, Aarti, correct. Khadija, correct. The second variable is speed of the boat. Speed of the water current and speed of the boat. Now it is up to you what variables you will use. I would use W and B because it will always remind me. I will not get confused with what is what if I use W and B. So speed of water current, let's use W, and speed of the boat, let's use B. I will make the first equation. You try to make the second equation. Okay. So it says Some of you keep switching your videos on, and then it becomes difficult for me to write on the screen. First equation. It says a boat travels 16 kilometers upstream and 24 kilometers downstream in 6 hours. So, sorry, 6 hours. So this is time. And the main formula that we have is speed equals to distance upon time. So if we simplify it, we can also say that, what can we say? As speed into time equals to distance, we can also say time equals to distance by speed, right? We have distance, distance, time. We have distance, distance, time. And we are taking speed as the variables. Are you with me till now? Need confirmations? Are you with me till now? How we are using the question to decide the variables and our previous knowledge of speed to define the equations. Good. Thank you for the confirmation. Now, if you look at the first part, it says 16 kilometers and 24 kilometers, and we will try to keep time on the right hand side. So if we have total time on the right hand side, the time, sorry for that disturbance. Now, this 6 hours is the total time, which is a combination of the time taken to go upstream and to time taken to go downstream. Now, upstream, we covered 16 kilometers at speed. Because we are going upstream, our speed is reduced by the stream of the speed of the stream. It will become speed of the boat minus speed of the water current. And the time taken to come downstream will be again distance, which is 24. Now the speed is more. The speed is more because the speed of the water is adding to the speed of the rowing. So it will be boat plus water current. I'll say it again. We know the total time taken. And that total time taken is time taken for downstream rowing and time taken for upstream rowing. When we are rowing downstream, the speed of the boat increases by the speed of the water current. When we are rowing upstream, the speed of the boat decreases by the speed of the water current. B minus W and B plus W. Need confirmations. If you have any questions, ask. Thank you, Chand and Chanda. Waiting for others. Good, good, good. Now you tell me what the second equation will be, and it will be difficult for you to type it in the chat box. So one of you raise your hand, come out of mute and speak.
$36 upon B minus W
Okay,
plus 48 upon B plus W
correct.
is equals to 13.
Done. Thank you very much, Aarti. I'm so happy you are now bold enough, courageous enough to answer without fear. And it is correct. Upstream, the speed is decreasing. Downstream, the speed is increasing. Distances are very clearly given, 36 and 48. Using the same logic, we make the second equation. Are you worried that we don't know how to solve these equations? You should not be worried. We studied this in the last class. We had equations with the denominator x plus y and x minus y. These are not linear equations, but we can convert them into linear equations by substitution and solve. If you remember, show me a thumbs up. If you don't remember, send me a no. If you attended the last class, even if you did not attend the last class, if you watched the video that I uploaded on YouTube, waiting for more confirmation. Is it reminding you of anything? Are you afraid, or do you know how to do this? Good, good, good. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. Gives me hope for me and for you also that we do remember certain things. Okay? So this was another example. We will try look at one more example before we close for the day. Okay. And that will be, I'm skipping one example now because it's already 10 to 10. So we will first look at a different example, and then if time permits, we'll come back to the one that I'm going to skip now. This is the example. Reading it for you. A 3-digit number. While I'm reading the question, I want you to type it in the chat box. What is the smallest 3-digit number and what is the biggest 3-digit number? Type it in the chat box. A 3-digit number is equal to 17 times the sum of its digits. A 3-digit number is equal to 17 times the sum of its digits. If the digits are reversed, the new number is 198 more than the old number. Also, the sum of extreme digits is less than the middle digit by unity. Find the original number. I'm checking the chat box to see if you were able to tell me which is the smallest 3-digit number and which is the biggest 3-digit number. I'm waiting for more answers. This is very bad if there are only 3 responses. I want 10 complete responses. What is the smallest 3-digit number and what is the biggest complete 3-digit number? Karthik correct, Prachi correct, Ankit wrong. Smallest 3-digit number and the biggest 3-digit number. Remember, we are in grade 10. Khadija, wrong answer. Half correct. Chanda Chand, correct. Good. Akhilesh, correct. Obviously, if we are not able to answer this, then it will be difficult for us to solve this question. A 3-digit number, the smallest one is 100. It is not 123. It is not 012. It is not 111. The smallest 3-digit number is 100. And the biggest 3-digit numbers, most of you got it right, is 999. No, Aarti, wrong answer. Not 110. It is 109. Try to remember place values, units, tens, 100. Ankit, if you give me an answer which says 012, now 100's place is 0. Because 100's place is 0, the number is only 12. It is not a 3-digit number. It is a 2-digit number. So the answer is wrong. So to get the smallest 3-digit number, we try to use as many zeros as possible. And we have to do it from the right hand side. So 0, 0. If I put a 0 at 100 place also, then the number will be 0. I can't have it. So the other smallest number, the next smallest number is 1. 100 is the smallest number. To make the biggest number, I will put 9. Ankit, Khadija, please confirm if this makes sense. Fiza, Anushka, please confirm if this makes sense. Shubham Yadav, Tushar, Shaheen, Samir, Saif, Sahil Kadam, Ritika, Muskan Sheikh, Muskan and Sania, Krishna. Please confirm that this makes sense. No response. Again, would mean either you are not there, you are not able to understand, or you are not able to respond. Thank you, Fiza. Right? So we have to make such a 3-digit number. We have to make such a 3-digit number. I'm clearing the screen to start again. We have to find the original number. So what is that 3-digit number? A 3-digit number will have 3 digits in it. To start, let us say the places are hundreds, tens, and units, and our digits are X, Y, and Z. Now, the moment we do this, we are getting 3 variables. Don't worry, we are trying to understand the question. We are trying to understand what is happening. Now, if this is how the number is, it says a 3-digit number is equal to 17 times the sum of its digits. Now tell me, if we have X, Y, and Z, how do we convert this first sentence into a mathematical equation? Speak or type? Waiting for your answers. If we take a 3-digit number which has X in hundreds place, Y at tens place, and Z at units place, how do we convert the first sentence of the question, which says a 3-digit number is equal to 17 times the sum of its digits? Khadija, clearly your answer is incomplete, no? Let us see what Akhilesh and Rajesh are saying. No response. And I hope you realize when we are doing this, you realize that we have forgotten something, and because of that we are going back. Chanda, wrong answer. Chanda, wrong answer. So very clearly, we will not be able to complete this now. We will first have to understand how numbers are formed, which we had studied last year. You studied from class 1. I taught you from last year. We discussed last year that if we write a number 23, it is 23 because this 2 is 2 into 10. This 3 is 3 into 1. And when we take 2 into 10, it is 20. When we multiply 3 and 1, it is 3. So the number becomes 20 plus 3, which is 23. Your answers, whoever has given the answer in the chat, you have completely forgotten this 10 and this 1. Very conveniently, very dangerously, you have forgotten 10 and 1. So place value of Z is Z into 1, which is Z. Place value of Y is Y into 10, which is 10Y. Place value of X, you tell me how much? You know the answer. Thank you, Karthik. It is X into 100, which comes to 100X. Now, the number actually becomes Z plus 10Y plus 100X. So, the number is 100X plus 10Y plus Z. This is the value of the number. And it says a 3-digit number is equal to, means this number is equal to 17 times the sum of its digits. 17 times the sum of its digits. This can be the first equation. Need confirmations that this makes sense now. I hope you understood what you did wrong when you wrote those answers in the chat box. Waiting. Thank you, Khadija, Chanda. What happened to the people with the thumbs up and the... Oh, okay, good. Got it. We are still understanding the question. We are not in a position to form the equations yet because we forgot what a number means. Now look at the second statement. If the digits are reversed, I hope you are writing. If the digits are reversed, the number will be... This is how the number will be written. But what is the value of the number? Please type it in the chat box. What is the value of the new number? No, Prachi, wrong answer. The value is not 198. If when we are forming the number by reversing the digits, this is the original number to the new number. I hope you are able to see that the digits have been reversed. What is the value of the new number? Chanda, Prachi, I don't know where you are getting the answers from. Khadija, your answer is correct. Now this will be Z is 100Z, Y is 10Y, X is just X. This is the value of the new number. Karthik, correct. Khadija, correct. Is it not clear, Chanda and Prachi and others? What is it that you are not able to understand? Do you want me to explain 23 once again? Prachi, now it is no better. Prachi, your answer is still wrong. I just asked you the value of the number. It is this. I'm waiting for you to tell me. Do you want me to explain 23 again? Okay, you got it. Understood. Okay. Now it says if the digits are reversed, the new number is 198 more than the old number. More means addition. Old number is this here. So this is equal to 100x plus 10y plus z plus 198. The new number is 198 more than the old number. This is equation number 2 from the second statement. Right? Look at the third statement. The sum of the extreme digits. Now we are back to this number. Sum of the extreme digits. Tell me what I can write using mathematics. Sum of extreme digits. Waiting for your answers in the chat box. Or if you want to speak, speak. It will be faster. Sum of the extreme digits. What is troubling you? Do you understand? Do we understand the meaning of sum? Do we understand the meaning of extreme? Do we understand the meaning of digits? If we understand these three words, then we can. I am asking, the last sentence is sum of extreme digits. Tell me, how do we write sum of extreme digits? Using mathematics, using the variables. Sum of extreme digits. We'll break it down. What are the extreme digits here? Or if you have to tell a small child, there are three things kept side by side. You want that child to pick up one thing. If you want the child to pick up X, what will you tell the child? X, Y, Z are there, but the child doesn't know X, Y, and Z. What will you say? What is X? Where is X? Location. Are you not able to hear me? X is not at the units place, Prachi. Look at the screen again. Hundreds place. Will the child understand where the hundreds place is when my students in class 10 are not able to understand? What will we say? Simple, simple, simple. Where is X? Left. X is on the left. X is on the left. Z is on the right. And Y is in the middle. So left and right are extreme. Left and right are the extreme digits. Now tell me, how can we write this sentence, sum of extreme digits, mathematically? Sum of extreme digits. There are two extreme digits here. You have already identified those digits are X and Z. How do we write sum of extreme digits? Sum means addition. Thank you, Prachi. It takes so long to do this. X plus Z. And it says, correct, it says is less than the middle digit. What is the middle digit? Y. Is less minus by unity 1. This is how we understand what the question is. And to understand what the question is, the most important point to note is how numbers are formed. Without that background, we will not be able to solve it. And I'm very sorry. I'm a little sad now that we forgot. Next time, come prepared. Be ready. This is not a surprise for you that we will study this. You knew it. Okay. Are the three equations clear? I need 10 confirmations now. Got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Waiting for 2 more. Okay, thank you. Right. It's already 10:05 or 10:07. I'm very sorry. We have gone beyond the scheduled time. Thank you very much for being here patiently. Also, so this is the question that we wanted to do. This also we wanted to do, but we could not. We ran out of time. Don't worry, we will do it. And this question that we were doing now, we could not do it because you forgot how numbers are formed. So this is also left. So what the homework that I had decided for you is not going to work now. So you will have to give me half an hour after the class for me to change the slides and send it to you. Change the slides and send it to you. And I expect you to perform, come prepared a lot better before you come to the next class. Before we close, this is where we began. I'm happy that all of you are well. I also confirm that I'm doing very, very well. Ankit, I still haven't started exercising, so I'm getting fatter and heavier every day. I hope I start this week. If you need ration, you will send me a message on WhatsApp by Thursday evening so that you get it by Sunday. Remember to complete your work, submit your work in PDF forms and arrange for textbooks. Next class will be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It will be an English session about writing letters. I have recorded this class and I have taken the